أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين اللهم صل على محمد ومحمد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله جميعا. Thank you again for joining us for this session. Today is already Saturday. We have finished now almost 11 days. This is the 12th day. So let's continue with the dua of the Prophet, and then we come to our topic. This is the dua for the 12th day of Ramadan. Bismillah ar-Rahman. Allahumma zayyin fihi bis-sitri wal-afaf. واسترني فيه بلباس القنوع والكفاف واحملني فيه على العدل والإنصاف وعاملني فيه من كل ما أخاف عصمتك يا عصمة الخائفين. This is the beauty, right? You can see the language, subhanallah. This is the Prophet who has to say that these du'as come from him. So each of the sentence ends with fa, afaf, kafaf, insaf, akhaf. No, subhanallah. So on this day, Prophet is saying that on this, oh Allah, on this day, Allahumma zayyinni fihi bis-sitri wal-afaf. Beautify me with a covering and chastity. You know, this chastity, of course, is that even kind of thoughts, because expected that at least majority of people will always be chaste, right? They'll be careful what they do. But we should be careful about also our thoughts when we come across people against things. So be careful that there is that try to, and the Prophet says, beautify me, zayyin me. So subhanallah, you can see the opposite, right? There are people who beautify themselves, whether a boy or a girl, so as to do haram things, so as to seduce people, or to get people attracted towards it. But here Prophet says, no, beautify me with chastity. So when a person is chaste, that is also a beauty in Islam compared to subhanallah. And that is why you can see that when people who are campaigning against hijab, they should know that hijab also is a beauty. You can see Prophet is saying that afaf, chastity is a beauty. Wasturni fihi bilibasil kunui wal kafaf. And then, of course, cover me with what? The clothing of contentment and subsistence, right? Contentment is so important that often people have a lot of things to complain. But you can see what we have, what Allah has given us. Like, for example, yesterday we had such a sudden snowfall, right? I'm sure a lot of people must have complained that where did this come in between? We were enjoying a good weather. How did this come? But of course, these are all tests, and there are reasons. I always say when it comes to weather, if it is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then there is nothing but good. May Allah give us ability to bear it. If it is on account of the way people have mishandled the environment, as there is a science of environment which says that because of warming, things have become messed up. So then there is a different thing. So may Allah, of course, guide those people to take care of the environment, because we are responsible. We are Khalifa on this earth. We are responsible for the environment. وَحْمِلْنِي فِيهِ عَلَى الْعَدْلِ وَالْإِنصَافِ, right? And let me adhere to justice and fairness. This is important that justice and fairness, of course, in this day and age is so difficult. What we are going through just now, you can imagine that there is a whole school of thought, right? Huge, which believes that what is being done against Palestinian is right, in spite of all this suffering and famine and what they are going through is unimaginable. But in spite of that, there is a whole school of thought, right, which believes that this is right and they should face this thing. So you can imagine where is justice, right? And that is why we, as the believers of the 12th Imam, we really have to pray, sincerely and honestly and continuously, you know, that may Allah hasten the appearance of 12th Imam, because real justice will come when he comes and establish. Right? So keep that in mind, that there is so much justice that now people, it is said that a woman can go from one place to another place without being harassed at all by anybody. Right? So that kind of things will be there in the 12th Imam instance. So Aminni fi min kulli ma fa. And this is so important, that keep me safe from all that I fear. So for example, now this weather has come, so we fear that now maybe we don't get an accident, we fear that no, we should not get sick. So yes, we are praying that Allah keep me safe from all that I fear. We must, ismatika, ya ismatul khaifin, with your protection. Ismat is the protection. Even we have ismat. Allah has given us. There is inside protection, with the protection, or the protector of the frightened. Ya ismatul khaifin, or the one who protects those who are feared. It's a beautiful dua, and you can see how in such a short dua, Prophet has included so many things. Yesterday, we started a good discussion. It will end tomorrow, of course. We said that now there are, generally, broadly, there are three modes of receiving divine instructions. And one was that people, when they ask, right? Yas'alunaka, as we say in Quran, at 14 times you can see it as Yas'alunaka. Of course, there may be even more, but at least Quran mentions that they ask you, and Allah then answers, tell them this thing. If they ask you, tell them this thing. But sometimes even Prophet or Imams, or in this case, Allah Himself initiates it, as we saw yesterday, iktidar, unprompted, that the Imam himself. So even sometimes, for example, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also would just send a command to Prophet to tell them. It's not like, for example, something has happened, or people ask questions. So one of the examples we have put here today is ayat number 53 from Surah Isra, right? كل عباد يقول كل عبادي يقول التي هي أحسن إن الشيطان ينزغ بينهم إن الشيطان كان إنسان عدوا مبينا. So you can see that Allah Himself sends the message to Rasulullah and just inform. But subhanAllah, Allah is talking that these are my servants. So we who, inshallah, are believers and Muslims, and also try to follow what Allah is asking us. So hopefully we are the servants. And because of that, the servants of Allah, whom Allah considers as dear to them. There is an ayat, for example, in Surah Al-Baqarah, which we recite often. وَإِذَا سَأَلَكَ عِبَادِي أَنِّي فَإِنِّي قَرِيبٌ أُجِيبُ الدَّعْوَةَ إِذَا دَعَانِي فَلْيَسْتَجِيبُوا لِي. In that ayat, we find the first person pronoun has been used 7 times. So the scholars mentioned that this shows that how dear the servants are to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that is why Prophet has been told that just inform my servants, those who are my servants, those who worship me, those who obey me, right, those who love me. يَقُولُ الَّتِي هِيَ أَحْسَنُ. They should say what is best. إِنَّ الشَّيْطَانَ يَنْزَغُ بَيْنَهُمْ. Because shaitan stirs up discord among them. So, subhanAllah, you can see the tongue, right? What we say, how we say, when we say, is so important. We should be training ourselves just not to not say anything what comes to our mind. You should be very careful. In fact, those who are very careful in what they're talking, what they talk, they are successful, right? You can see people also respect them. So we should pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because there is a clear instruction from Allah. وَكُلِّ ibad. O Muhammad, say to my servants, يَقُولُ الَّتِي أَحْسَنُ. No, they should say what is best. Yakulu actually is present tense. So it's not only once in a while that you are in a masjid, or once in a while when you're in ihram, or once in a while when you're fasting. No, it's an ongoing process, right? That is good. Inna shaitana yanzul bainahum, because shaitan always stirs up among them on account of the moment, for example, somebody makes a mistake, other person capitalizes on it, and then of course that's how the problem starts. Inna shaitana kana insan adumya, because shaitan is an outright enemy. So of course our discussion is not this ayah. We have just brought here an example that here is something which people did not ask, but Allah Himself instructing Prophet to inform the believers that they should be careful when they speak. And Mu'mineen, in the month of Ramadan, this is the best time to train ourselves because we are fasting. Right? Because we are fasting, we try to avoid speaking things which are not appropriate, but it's gibbat, sarcasm, lying, or excessive talk, all those things, right? So say, and subhanAllah, Allah used the word ahsan. Ahsan is good, ahsan is the best. So to say things which are best is not an easy thing, but let's pray that Allah gives us that tawfiq, right? We come to the hadith we started yesterday. We said this is hadith number 94, whereby Imam himself initiated this ittida'an, quoting from Rasulullah. One who has 6 qualities shall be placed before Allah and on his right side. So this is indication, as I said, that there is nothing like physical place where Allah is sitting or there's a throne and there's on the right side. These are metaphorical ways just to say that somebody on the right side, that means somebody who is close to Allah, who is close to the mercy of Allah, close in the sense that he or she will receive Allah's rahmah. May I be ransom for you. What are there? And now you can see Ibn Yafur Ibn Abi Yafur is anxious that what are there? Immediately says, may I ransom? Juhiltu fidaka. Juhiltu fidaka. May I be sacrificed for it? What are there? He now wants to know it very quickly. Ask Ibn Abi Yafur. And now Imam also, subhanAllah, this is it. You can see Imam now answering, also taking his name. So this shows that not like personal, right? That Imam is not talking to himself. Ibn Abi Yaqub. The fact that he asked, Messenger of Allah has said. So earlier also Imam said, Ibn Yaqub, Messenger of Allah has said, and again he's repeating again Messenger of Allah has said. Right? So maybe this one who has 6 qualities, should be placed before Allah. Right? May I be some? Okay, so this is the typo. This is repeat again. The Imam said, Imam said the first is that Muslim should love for his brother in faith what he loves for the nearest person in his family. This is interesting, that we already have, for example, within the family, the people whom we love. It can be your mother, it can be your children, it can be your spouse sometimes, it can be your own brother, depending what kind of relations we have in the family. But Imam is giving us an idea that if somebody whom you love most dearest, also love your mom and brother. Now, I would accept personally, of course, these imams and these of expect that this is not an easy thing to do. But the idea here is that, to that extent, that we should not have that kind of friends. For example, if somebody who is very dear to you, how you love, you should love for the believer to that extent. And a Muslim should detest for his brother what he detests for the dearest in the family. For example, you would never like that your mother, has any kind of problem. That although she is aging, but she should not face that kind of problem, right? We will sometimes even pray to Allah that, Ya Allah, if you want to give this thing, this sickness or this kind of challenge on to my mother, pass it over to me. But I would like her to have, peace of mind, right? We say these things sometimes. So this is how also in the same way that if you find that mu'mineen are suffering, we should pray that they should not have it. The way who is dearest to me, for example, what I would not like my mother to suffer or my children to suffer, they should not suffer at all. Right? So this is a good way of saying that to what extent we should have the relation with fellow believers. And that is why this particular topic, chapter number 4, is the right believer or right believer, right? Kitab al-Mu'min. At this point, Ibn Abi Yafur wept at us. You see, he realized he's next to Imam. Listen to Imam directly, right? Imam is saying that the Prophet has said. So he started weeping. He said, how should he be sincere to him? So now he's seeking some more clarification so that he can follow it. He says, "O Ibn Abi Yaqul," the Imam responded, when a brother in faith is in state of anxiety, he should share his anxiety. And if he is joyful, he should share his joy. If he is grieved, he should share his grief. And if he is able to relieve of distress, he should do so. Otherwise, you should pray for Allah. So when the question was asked a few days ago, right? If somebody is a doctor, for example, to what extent we should help? So this is the answer, right? The question comes behind. It says that no, first of all, that no, if he is in a state of anxiety, he should share his anxiety. Now, that for example, a person has certain kind of anxiety, then he should share with fellow believers. Of course, with a hope that that person will be able to help out. If he's joyful, he should share his joy. This is also important. I think we sometimes tend to forget this thing. If there are some good things in your life, your son is successful, you are successful, certain things you had prayed to Allah and you got it, it's good to share with others, mu'mineen. Why? Because mu'mineen also are praying. So when they hear this good news, it's so good. I remember that I went to one pharmacy of our brothers, and then the way they served me and they answered my questions, I liked it. So I thought, no, and of course, they were just employees there. The owner was another brother. But I said, I'll wait for a good moment. So when he came Friday, I said, it's a good day. So I wrote to him that let me improve your day by telling that I was in the pharmacy, you tell me, and you are lucky to have such good employees who were kind, the customers and tried to help. So he got back and said, yes, we improved my day. So you can see that people also want those good things. So when there are good things, sometimes people hide it. Of course, there are their own reasons, but it's also good to share because that joy will also be shared by others. You might directly benefit from that good thing which you have, but other person will also benefit in the feelings that at least that good feeling is there. Let's say for example that somebody has been praying for long to have a child. Now, for example, the wife is conceived. So yes, let us share with you that this is a good news, and now pray that everything goes well until the child is born, right? So these are also things that share with this child. If he's grieved, he should also share his grief. Yeah, if sometimes somebody is grieved, then also that is important. People that know, for example, so and so. I know nowadays we have received so many messages on WhatsApp. So you would say, why should I bother somebody that if my aunt has died, if my uncle has died, if my, for example, brother has got sick, why should I bother others? No, because we are like a one bondage. There's a bondage between mu'mineen. There's nothing wrong with that. No, I would like to let you know that, for example, my aunt has died. Please, keep her in your du'as, or this has happened. So share also in the grief, because we are like an extended family. And if he's able to relieve him of distress, he should do so. So this is it, that if somebody is in distress, if there's any way a person can help out, do that, right? It's important that we try to do that. No? Otherwise, at least we should pray for him. So this is also a good, and we pray sincerely for that person. But keep in mind, prayer has come as the last, you can see. This is also important because sometimes we just confine to prayer. We say, okay, I pray for this enough. No. You can see Imam is telling us, no, do this thing, do this thing, do this thing. Only if you now, no, if you cannot, if you are, should. Otherwise, you should pray. If you should do so, otherwise you should pray. So if you don't have those other opportunities, then the prayers come. Of course, prayers will also be there all the time, but we should not sometimes say, okay, I pray for somebody, that's enough. So let's see that if you can really physically go out of our way to help this thing. Let me see, there's a question or a comment. Thank you for sharing. There's a saying that if you share your grief, you have it. And if you share your joy, you double it. Good, subhanAllah. Yeah. So there is some probe somebody share with us. You can check in the chat box now. So yes, now let's try to. But the whole idea is in this hadith of this chapter that as believers, no, in faith, as mu'mineen, we are a one strong, no, bonded family. Keep in mind that it's a very that kind of relation should be there, and if it's not there, we should try to develop it. Whatever you think can help to bring about that kind of understanding, that really helps, right? That you feel that your family is sometimes, for example, you are alone, your son has traveled away, you are alone. So you know that no, although I'm not alone, because I have an extended family, and that really helps. Any questions and clarifications? It's a weekend, so I don't mind. No, somebody has anything. So we'll continue discussing this hadith tomorrow, and also we'll finish the third mode of about receiving divine command. The third one is, as you said, that no, people did not ask, nor did, for example, command came, but some circumstances brought about that thing. So we'll discuss about from Quranic point of view. So again, keep us in your du'as. Today is the 12th day. We have 3 more days of presentation. So Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. So inshallah, hopefully we'll see you there. وصلى الله وبارك على اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد